Our search for the Morozovs has taken a sudden, sinister turn. Everything about it feels like trouble. Big, well-planned trouble. Not only have the Morozovs disappeared, someone tried to cover their tracks by having two people posing as them check out of the Argonaut, and finding two people that look similar enough and were willing to do it would have required both time and resources. I asked Liz to check with housekeeping about the Morozovs' room. After a short call, she tells me their room was empty when housekeeping got to it. The imposters had to have cleaned it out, and to do that, they needed to have the room keycard, which they must have gotten from the siblings. There's no reason for the Morozovs themselves to have orchestrated this, which leads me to only one conclusion. They've been kidnapped. I borrowed Chelsea's phone to call Mac Malden, the closest thing I have to a friend at the NSFPD, and give him the info. He says he'll look into it. Chelsea is listening and gives me a worried look as I hand the phone back to her.
What now?
Cops will check the surveillance video. Maybe they can ID the imposters. For now, all we can do is talk to Angela. Maybe she has an idea of who the old Russian man is.
The one who met the Morozovs at the coffee shop.
Yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence that the siblings disappeared right after talking to him.
As we leave the lobby, I notice a speeder parked across the street. A gunmetal Mercedes with blacked out windows. Maybe the recent turn of events has me paranoid, but it's not the kind of speeder you see every day, and I'm pretty sure it was outside the coffee shop when Chelsea and I were there. Instead of heading back to my Lotus, I grab Chelsea's hand and lead her across the street.
There's a Mercedes parked up the street to our right, dark gray with tinted windows. See if you can get the license plate number without being obvious about it.
Okay, 6JXN 981.
6JXN 981. Let's go to that gift shop on the corner. I think whoever's in that speeder might be following us.
But why would someone be following us?
They may not, but if they are, it must have something to do with the Morozovs.
We step inside the Bay Company souvenir store. I ask to borrow Chelsea's phone again and call Malden back. I give him the license plate number and ask him to see who it's registered to. Chelsea and I wait a few minutes, then stroll out nonchalantly and return to my speeder. I lift off, make a wide U-turn, and then fly slowly up Jefferson, directly over the Mercedes. In my rearview mirror, I see the Mercedes take off. Chelsea, looking in her side mirror, sees it too.
He's following us.
Yep.
The Mercedes has to turn around to follow us, giving me a decent head start. I reach the corner of Jefferson and Leavenworth, hang a nice, easy right, and then gun it.
Hold on.
The only way I'm going to lose our tail is by staying low and using the buildings for cover, which is dangerous and illegal. Lose your license and speeder illegal, but I have to risk it. I speed up Leavenworth and bank hard right onto Beach Street, staying below the roofline of the Argonaut. Up ahead, the Hyde Street trolley rolls across the intersection. I glance into my rearview mirror. No Mercedes. I elevate just high enough to clear the trolley, then make a hard left. I'm assuming the Mercedes will go up for a bird's eye view. Hyde Street is lined with trees and offers the best cover, so I stay on it, keeping as low as possible and shoot up the hill to Bay Street. People are yelling and flipping me off as we speed past. A moment later, Russian Hill Park comes into view. It's one of the largest green spaces in the city, with enough trees to be considered an urban forest and strictly off limits to speeders. I head for a small clearing. Branches scrape the side of my speeder as I descend. At the last moment, I hit the air brakes and then touch down gently. Chelsea glances over at me, her eyes wide.
That was insane. But kind of fun.
Well, it comes with the PI partner package, no extra charge.
We sit tight for a few minutes. There's no sign of the Mercedes. We wait a bit longer until a gray-haired couple with matching tie-dye shirts, Birkenstocks, and expressions of tree-hugging indignation come marching into view. I fire up the Lotus and lift off, hugging the tree line until we reach the west side of the park. Still no Mercedes. I relax a little and ascend to cruising altitude. Sunrise is reflecting across the bay as we fly back to Chandler Avenue. Once we're in my office, we'll have another chat with Angela, giving her an update and see if she knows anything about the old Russian guy and why he might want to kidnap the Morozovs. But it'll have to wait. As Chandler Avenue comes into view, I see a gunmetal gray speeder descending to the street. I don't bother to get a closer look and confirm that it's the Mercedes. I bank hard and head west, hoping they didn't spot me. But now I'm starting to think it may not matter. A few minutes later, we land at the south end of Mission Street in the parking lot of Tim Time Automotive. This is where I get my Lotus service, and I know they're open late.
Hey, Tex.
Timmy. Chelsea, this is Tim. Tim, Chelsea.
Nice to meet you.
You too. So how's your baby? Need me to take a look at something?
She's running like a champ. I just need you to see if someone put a tracker on her. I got someone tailing me, and it can't seem to shake him.
Why would someone be tailing you?
We're investigating a kidnapping. It's pretty serious.
So you really are a PI? I thought you were kidding about that.
Really?
I'll be honest, Tim, I used to think that too.
Seriously?
I'll take a look. There's drinks and snacks in the waiting room. It shouldn't take me long.
Let's give Angela a call.
Okay.
Chelsea sends a text and gets an immediate reply.
She wants to use the drone.
I watch as Chelsea takes the device from her purse and sets it on the floor. As before, it scans the waiting room, and then Angela magically appears on one of the chairs.
Did you find them?
Well, yes and no. We found out where they were staying at the Argonaut Hotel, but they're gone now.
Gone? Where?
We think they've been kidnapped.
What? Why?
I was hoping you could tell me.
They met an old Russian man yesterday. Tall, thin, white hair and beard, glasses. Any idea who he could be?
I don't think so. You think this man kidnapped them?
All we know is two people, a man and a woman, who looked a lot like the Morozovs, came back to the hotel later with their hotel room key, cleared out the stuff, and checked out of the hotel.
I can't believe it. This is terrible. But you must believe me, I had no idea they were in any danger.
Well, they are. And you made it sound like some people would go to great lengths to get their Enigma papers. Resorting to kidnap seems a little extreme, but I'm guessing there's more to the story than you've told me.
You're right. There is. I didn't think the details would be necessary. Clearly they are. One thing I didn't tell you is that at some point the Morozovs found someone who was able to decipher the Enigma papers, or at least a portion of them. I can't say for certain who did the decryption, but there are very few people with the expertise to do it.
Could any of those people be the old Russian man?
Not as far as I know, but it's possible. I'll need to make some inquiries.
Okay, so someone deciphered the papers. Then what?
The Morozov shared some of the decoded message with me. There may have been more to it than what they shared, but what they told me was incredibly intriguing.
Intriguing enough to get them kidnapped?
Maybe.
So what did they tell you was in the message?
It had been sent from the captain of a Nazi U-boat. Apparently, he had found a ship frozen in the ice in the North Atlantic. It had been there for years, and they found something on board. The message doesn't say exactly what, just 3 words to describe it. In German, of course. Romanov, Verpasst, and Kostbarkeit.
Romanov? As in Anastasia Romanov?
It would seem so.
My German's a little rusty. What do the other 2 words mean?
Verpasst means lost, and Kostbarkeit has several possible meanings, one of which is treasure.